Hi everyone, Mr. Neighbor here. We're still talking about the percent equation, and in this video, we're gonna look at the green method that I was writing in green, which is the proportion, the cross multiply and divide method. So this is just gonna work on the setup. I'm not actually going to solve it all the way out in detailed steps, but I will show you the setup. And then we'll go and work on some other problems and kind of look at what's the best method to use. So we started with this one, or we did it already, so I'm going to go to this one. Remember the percent proportion setup is this way. Your part out of 100 is always the percent. So this is the percent. You always write your percent right here. That is always the percent. So let's just remember that. So scrolling down, let's do this first one. So the percent is always the thing out of 100. And that is equal to your part out of your whole. So we need to figure out, is this 200? Is that the part or is that the whole thing? So read the problem. What is 6% of 200? 200 is the whole thing. We're looking for a part out of that, 6% of it. So the mystery is right here. So now we do the cross multiply and divide part. Cross multiply and divide. So 100 times x, which is 100 x's, equals 200 times 6. And I'm just going to write that as 200 times 6. I know that it is 1200, but I'm not going to write all that stuff out. I want to write it all at once. So cross multiply, and now we have to divide by the thing that is next to the x. So we will divide by 100. Writing out these steps helps you remember what you're actually doing. You're moving this 200 over through multiplication. You're undoing this divide. You are moving this 100 over through multiplication, undoing the divide. So it's all undoing. So writing this stuff out helps remind us of that. So 100 divided by 100, 100x divided by 100 equals 200 times 6. Oops. All of that divided by 100 and simplify. This 100 will cancel out with that. So x equals whatever this is. So you can do that in your head. You can write it out on paper. You could use a calculator if that's allowed, but that's what x will equal. The next ones I'm going to do a little bit faster since we're just talking about cross multiplying and dividing. So I don't know if I'm going to write this out every time. So find 72%. Oh, I see the percent, so I'm going to write that as the thing out of 100 of 50. So I have to decide, is 50 the whole or the part? So read it, find 72% of 50. 50 would be the whole thing, and we're looking for a part of that. So we will do the cross multiply and divide method. So cross multiply, 72x equals 50 times 100. And then I divide by the thing that's next to the x. So we will divide by the 72 to both sides. So when I do that, I will not have anything left on this side besides my x. And here I will have 50 times 100 divide by 72. Whatever that calculates out to be, that will be x. Over here, what is 14% of 150? Well, the 14 is going to be the thing out of 100 equals. Figure out what the 150 is, the part or the whole. What is 14% of 150? We're looking for a part of 150, so that is the whole thing. So we need to cross multiply and divide. I'm going to lose the blue ink, and I'm just going to write x times 100, or 100x, equals 14 times 150, and then I have to divide by the thing that is next to the x. So I'm going to have x equals, and I'm going to divide by that. And whatever that is my value. 50%, that is the thing over 100. Well, let's put that on the left side. It doesn't matter if it's on the right or the left. So let's just switch it up. And 70, is that the part or is that the whole? Find 50% of 70. We're looking for a part of it. Now, I want to stop you right here. Don't ever think that you have to use one of these methods. You can just think about the problem and get an answer out. This is a perfect example. 50% of 75. That's just half. Half of 70 would be 35. So I should be expecting that answer out when I do this method. So 50 times 70. And then I will be dividing by the thing that is next to the x, which will be the 100. So I did it all in one step. But I know the process and why that occurs. So that's okay. Over here, 21 is what percent of 40? Ooh, neither of these are the percent. So that means the percent part is my mystery. The thing out of 100 is the mystery. Now, which one of these is the whole? But be careful. Not the bigger one is not always the whole. Not always. It might be, but not always. So we have to read the problem to make sure that this is the whole or not. 21 is what percent of 40? So 40 is the thing that we're looking at. 21 is what percent of 40? The thing we're looking at is the whole thing. So 21 would be the part. This is an example of where the bigger number is on bottom. So now we're going to cross multiply. So 21 times 100. And we will divide by the thing that is with the x when we cross multiply, 40. And then we'll get out an answer. Okay, so I'm going to put up the answers so you can test all these calculations out and make sure that you do get these out.